Tracking breaking news right now. This is Local 6 Midday.
We begin with breaking news. A suspect is wanted in the murders of 4 people in Lake County, Tennessee. Agencies are searching for this man, 29-year-old Austin Robert Drummond. He's 5'10" with brown hair, blue eyes, and a goatee, but his appearance may have been altered. He's believed to be driving this 2016 Audi A3 with Tennessee plates, that license plate number 01896. Police say he should be considered armed and dangerous, and if spotted, do not approach. Call 911. We first brought you this breaking news via the Local 6 News app. To stay up to date with the latest breaking news, download the app and be sure to enable push alerts. Turning to our top story now, it's not even August, but we're looking ahead to September. That's because organizers for Barbecue on the River are holding a media luncheon right now. Local 6's Mike Mallory is there. He joins us live. Mike, the timing is very fitting.
That's right, Jasmine. Barbecue on the River is exactly 2 months away. September 25th, that is the first official day of this year's big event. Of course, don't forget Pork Stock. That's the night before the Riverfront concert. Organizers have been briefing the media, the theme, some of the main takeaways, this year's theme being a homecoming hoedown. Whitney Revelette Wallace telling us that they're getting back to the roots, the original footprint of the festival. That's her giving an interview over in the corner right now, in fact. She says it's going to be more like the original location. It'll never quite be like that because downtown has changed with the parking lot and all. But, you know, Barbecue on the River is more than just the location, the logistics. It's all about more than just barbecue. It's also about Cajun corn and funnel cakes. No, I'm kidding. It is about food, but it's also about, of course, the live music, the market booths, the family fun, and ultimately it is about raising money for local nonprofits, even regional nonprofits, and should be another big year for that. And reporting live from Black Hawk Event Center in Paducah, Mike Mallory, WPSD Local 6.
All right, Mike, thank you. This year will mark the 31st Barbecue on the River. And we are finally starting to see some relief on the way from the extreme temperatures in our region. We are no longer in a weather authority alert, but it's still expected to be a hot one. Chief Meteorologist Trent Okerson is here now and tracking that heat for us. So, Trent, how does it feel today?
Well, still hot and humid, but it's at least a little bit better out there right now. Cold fronts coming through the region as we speak, and for many of us, we're already seeing winds turn around out of the north, which is bringing in some cooler, drier air. Paducah right now, 85 degrees. Heat index is still 94, so it's pretty hot and humid, but it's not as bad as it was. Now you go down toward Huntington, 91 there, 104 the heat index. So it's going to take a little while for that relief to move all the way through the area. Our front has just come across the Ohio River, and out ahead of that front, we still have a couple of scattered showers trying to get going. A little bit of rain here in Callaway County around Murray, shower up around Aurora and over toward Cadiz. And we'll continue to have at least a small chance for a couple of scattered storms through the afternoon as temperatures fall back into the lower 80s by 6 o'clock tonight. More about when the humidity will drop coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Trent. Continue to stay up to date on all the weather in your area with the Local 6 Radar app. Just remember to enable push alerts. Now for politics. For months, President Donald Trump has been slapping higher tariffs on practically every country's imports to the United States, citing emergency economic powers. Today, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit is hearing arguments over whether the president overstepped his authority to impose many of those tariffs. In May, the U.S. Court of International Trade sided with 5 small business owners and 12 states who argued Trump can't use the International Emergency Economic Powers Act of 1977 to enact the tariffs. However, the Federal Appeals Court allowed Trump's tariffs to remain in place while the case is being challenged. The court's ruling could significantly reshape Trump's trade strategy, but it could take weeks or even months to reach a decision. That's as the president will sign an executive order that officially reestablishes the presidential fitness test. Several former and current professional athletes will be at the White House as President Trump puts pen to paper. Public school students with the highest scores in the fitness challenge will receive recognition. The test was first introduced in 1966 by President Lyndon B. Johnson. In 2012, it was replaced by the Obama administration for the Fitness Gram assessment, which focused on individual health. In world news, President Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, is in Israel today to address the humanitarian crisis in Gaza as some of the president's Republican allies and many Democrats call on him to expand food assistance to the enclave and put more pressure on the Israeli government to reach a ceasefire deal. NBC's Matt Bradley has more from Tel Aviv.
Well, the news here today is that Steve Witkoff, President Donald Trump's special envoy to the Middle East, who also does a lot of work with Russia and Ukraine, he just arrived here and he's going to be doing meetings with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other officials. This is actually a very interesting move because normally Mr. Witkoff doesn't come here unless there's some big deal in the offing, some ceasefire announcement that's about to be made or major advances in peace talks. Now we know that that is not the case, but it looks as though the Israelis have said that they will be pushing harder into the Gaza Strip now that those peace talks in Doha last week more or less have fallen apart. The situation in the Gaza Strip continues to be desperate. We just heard yesterday from officials there that at least 30 people were killed waiting in line for aid. And this is something that we're seeing on a regular basis. People dying in huge numbers, trying to get food in order to stay alive. Now, we've also heard from Hebrew language media, from the Israeli media, that Mr. Witkoff might actually go into the Gaza Strip and visit one of the sites operated by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. This is a controversial U.S. and Israeli-backed group that has taken up the mantle of distributing so far a lot of the aid that has been getting into the Gaza Strip. And this is now the fourth day since the Israelis have really just slightly opened the spigot of aid coming into the Gaza Strip. They're allowing other countries to airdrop aid. They've been bringing hundreds of truckloads of aid into the Gaza Strip. But officials there say, and UN and aid agencies say, this isn't nearly enough, particularly to reverse the ravages of malnutrition on some of the youngest people, who so far make up more than half of about 150 dead from malnutrition ever since this war started. Matt Bradley, NBC News, Tel Aviv.
You have the chance to win this beautiful home while supporting children battling life-threatening diseases. This year's St. Jude Dream Home giveaway is set for September 5th, just about a month away. The home is under construction in the Westwood Hills neighborhood of Paducah's West End. Tickets are $100 each. We're at 6,000 tickets sold. Our goal is to hit 10,000, which would raise $1 million for St. Jude. Learn more and get your ticket at WPSDlocal6.com.
Those long-awaited changes are underway today. Cooler, drier air moving in as we speak. We'll talk about some really nice weather heading into the weekend. Coming up after the break here on Local 6 Midday. Stay with us.